Analysis complete.
That's an enemy gunship. A single burst from its machine gun could cut a man in half. Tread carefully, boss.
Where are your friends?
But...
Marker placed. Marker placed. will clear shortly. Analysis complete.
Слышал истории о человеке с одним глазом? Ага. Что? Я слышал, что его прислали американские террористы в поддержку режима. Кто-то из выживших рассказывал, что у него на голове рог, и что он сражается как одержимый демон.
Богатый мужик? Да он, небось, за них паниковал, съел с катушек.
Caution. Sandstorm approaching.
Что ж,
Weather will clear shortly.
Speak.
The map has been updated.
Where are your friends?
Marker placed. Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Spit it out. Where are
The
your
map has been updated. You have arrived at your destination.
talk?
The map has been updated. You have arrived at your destination. You have arrived at your destination.
Who are you? Snake? It's not you, is it?
Hey! It's just a machine. Are you?
Dr. Emmerich.
Snake? Hey, what gives? Ah! Let me go! No! Give me back my legs!
Right on schedule. Now bring him back to Mother Base.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Okay, I'm sending a chopper close by. Get to the LZ with Emmerich.
Hang on a second. Let's use the walker
Mission
gear I
info
developed
has
to
been
escape.
updated. The
There's a
map
special
has been
one here at the
updated.
lab. Only I can activate it, and I'll tell you how to operate it.
Ignore Emmerich. We don't need his wind-up toys. It is a long way there. Why don't you use that walker gear of his?
Enemy
No way.
contact
We can't trust him.
The map
How do we
has
know his
been
crap will
updated.
even work? Well, it's better than carrying the man the whole way. Boss, use the walker gear to escape. It's your call, boss.
Jack. To make the world one again. I'm defecting to the Soviet Union. I've been waiting, Snake, for a long time. Waiting for your birth, your growth, and the finality of today. Finish your mission. Prove your loyalty. Finish your mission. Prove your loyalty. When life ends, it gives off a final lingering aroma. Light is but a farewell gift from the darkness to those on their way to die. Finish your mission. Prove your loyalty. There is nothing left inside me now. Nothing at all. No hatred. Not even regret. And yet sometimes at night, I can still feel the pain inside. Slipping through my life. The world must be made whole. The philosophers must be reunited. I will devote my skills to that purpose. And with the Colonel's money, I will achieve. Just as I once created the codes.
Marker
Defecting to
removed.
the Soviet Union. The world used to be home, but with the end of the Second World War, the philosophers began to fight amongst themselves, and the world was torn apart. When life ends, it gives off a final lingering. Light is but a farewell.
That's a walker gear. You could steal it for yourself, or destroy it if you've got explosives on you.
Finish your mission. Prove your loyalty.
Marker placed. Marker removed.
But I still I may no longer be the future, but I still must be made. The philosophers must be reunited. I will devote my skills to veterans. And the colonel's money, I will share. Just as I once created.
I'll start it up. Get this off me!
Here we go.
They're single pilot machines. I'll. Whoa! Hey!
To the Soviet Union.
I was developing a bipedal weapon for the Soviet Union. It hasn't been deployed yet. I was doing mobility testing here. Once the walker gear is finished, they'll have a huge advantage in close combat. And once they add my masterpiece into the equation, this war will be over. The Soviets will win.
He was developing bipedal weapons for the Soviets. If that's the case, what's Cypher's interest in it?
It is your mission. Prove your loyalty.
Marker placed.
Isn't it? It's almost tragic. Like Isn't it? It's almost tragic.
Support helicopter requested.
Boss, think back. 9 years ago, we invited that nuclear inspection team to Mother Base. It was a ruse. They turned out to be Cypher's strike force. It was Emmerich who brought them there. He's been underground ever since, working with Cypher.
I had no idea. I thought the inspection was real. I swear it. If anyone's to blame, it's you, Snake. We should never have had that nuke. That's the reason Mother Base was destroyed.
Caution. Sandstorm approaching.
Cypher threatened to kill me. Made me do research for them.
Arriving shortly at
That's
LZ.
right. Creating bipedal weapons. 9 long years. Forced to do whatever they said. Take this bag off, will you? I can't breathe. You came to save me, right? I'm dying in this thing, Snake.
This is Pequot. Have arrived at LZ. Will stand by.
Support helicopter
After
has
9 years,
arrived.
you finally came. Snake, I thought we were on the same team. All for one and one for all. Nothing's changed, right?
Analysis complete. Weather will clear shortly.
Sahelanthropus? How?
So that's the Metal Gear he built for the Soviets.
Impossible! It can't be active!
Doctor, you're as useless as I thought. This is the real Sahelanthropus. You and your friend will die here. Behold! Today is the day weapons learn to walk upright!
Get out of there, boss. Emmerich extraction comes first. Head for the LZ.
Mission updated.
If you don't get away from that thing, it'll bring down the chopper. Try to slip somehow. Stay behind cover as you move. This is Pequot. Have arrived at LZ. Stand by. It's no good. The chopper can't get close. Boss, lose the enemy before you arrive at the LZ. find something. woods yet. Find a place to hide.
Please select a drop point. Supplies requested. Supply drop complete.
Stay alert. You're not out of the woods yet.
This is B-Quad. There's an obstruction at the hill
Hide.
preventing me from
All
landing.
right, the chopper's touching down. Don't waste any time getting on board. And don't forget Emmerich.
Support helicopter has arrived. Please select a landing zone. Landing zone confirmed.
This is
Stay
B-Quad.
alert. You're not out of the woods yet.
We'll stand by.
Find a place to hide.
Support help. Please select a strike point. Strike requested. Strike will commence shortly. Please select landing zone confirmed.
Awesome. You need to focus, boss. Get the target to the RV.
Support helicopter has arrived.
Flawless work. You never cease to amaze, boss. Here it comes. Use the chopper's minigun. Take them off! Shoot that thing!
An upright bipedal weapon. In terms of hominids, it's a sahelanthropus. How did they complete it without me?
We'll hear the rest back at base.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Development project has been added.
Mission complete. I guess it all worked out in the end.
Why do you suspect me? What did I do? I'm on your side. What about him? Miller was in contact with Cypher 9 years ago. He was working with them. He's the traitor, Snake! What's that? More truth serum?
No. Stronger truth
Oh,
serum.
please. Please keep me here. I need protection. Ah! Ah! Oh. 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 Why?
You're the odd one out.
Why me?
We all lost something.
What?
Except you.
Don't.
The truth serum isn't working. Either some procedure he had done boosted his metabolic enzymes, or he's undergone special gene therapy.
What's he saying?
Same as 6 hours ago. I had no idea the nuclear inspection 9 years ago was a ruse. Cypher forced me to do that research after the attack.
Do you think he had a hand in it?
I do. But there's no proof yet. Take a listen to this later.
We need proof before we can pass judgment. Keep an eye on him. And don't tell anyone he's here.
We'll have him continue his research in there. It's for his own good. The older guys will want his head. We can't guarantee his safety if we let him out.
Boss.
He mentioned something interesting. The reason why they pulled their plug on the operation in Afghanistan. He said their funding started going to Central Africa instead. Cypher is pursuing new research in Africa. Africa? What research? Emmerich doesn't know the details, but one thing he said does make sense. That Sahelanthropus alone isn't enough to cause an RMA. He claims that what they're doing in Africa is the missing piece. A weapon to surpass Metal Gear. Meaning it's not just another nuke.
Boss, there's no doubt about it. Cypher's working on something in Central Africa. There's evidence they've been in contact with private forces operating in the region. We follow that evidence. We should learn what Cypher is after. Diamond Dogs has gotten a lot bigger. Now's the time to take the offensive. Head back to the ACC for your next mission.
Commencing platform construction. Please specify a project. Please specify a project. Please select a mission. Select unit. Staff assigned. Select unit. Staff assigned. Select unit. Staff assigned. Select unit. Staff assigned. Select unit. Select unit. Staff assigned. Select unit. Staff assigned.
So why have the boss's old organization get taken out? Just because the U.S. didn't like having a threat like that on his doorstep?
You hear all kinds of stories. But from what Commander Miller says, there's more to it.
Select unit. Staff assigned.
Covert intelligence agency called Cypher.
Select unit. Staff assigned.
The boss built a merc outfit that fought alongside the Sandinistas. An army without a country. 5 mercs, 4 mercs. Something with no government holding the reins. Cypher wanted their military muscle. The boss said no.
So they moved on the Caribbean base and massacred them.
I hear ya.
Select unit. Staff dismissed. 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 Select unit. Select unit. Staff dismissed. 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 Select unit. Select unit. Select unit. Staff dismissed.
sniper known as Quiet is lurking in the Afghan wilderness. This Quiet has performed a string of hits on Soviet officers. The attacks always occur in the same area, but sweeps of the area turn up no traces whatsoever.
Roger.
Posted guards, but they never spot a thing.
Welcome back, boss.
And then before you know it, another body's lying on the ground. You ever heard of someone who operates like that? No matter how still and silent a person tries to be, they always create some kind of ripple. Be it breathing, a heartbeat, eating, excreting, body temperature, sweat. If this sniper can really vanish completely, that's just not human. I guess Quiet is the right name. But what is Quiet's objective? The local guerrillas wouldn't use this kind of tactic. You just can't see them hiring some superhuman mercenary. And the Soviet officers who've been killed, well, they were all opposed to or skeptical of the secret weapons development being conducted in the area. Sure, they were a problem for those supporting it, but the Soviets have nothing to gain by killing them. So we have an assassin with superhuman combat skills who isn't working for the guerrillas or the Soviets. Miller has a theory that this sniper is a hitman for Cypher. He thinks it's time we silence Quiet for good. But I'm against the lethal treatment. I say we bring the sniper back alive and break that silence. Because even if this Quiet doesn't say a word, there's still plenty we can learn. Just remember this, boss. If our hunch is right, you'll be on this sniper's hit list too. If things seem a little too quiet when you're in the field, watch out. Quiet's out there somewhere. And if possible, this is one sniper I want back here breathing.
Gaining altitude.
Mission
Boss, I've been meaning to tell you something. Our old friend Zero hasn't been seen in public since you left the States. That was over 10 years ago now. You suspected he was responsible for the accident at your base in the Caribbean, but at that point, Zero was already bedridden. So it never felt right to me that Zero gave the order. Now that I've seen the man Emmerich was working for, I'm sure he didn't. I know that man. He was our old friend's XO. A man without a face. Not one you want to look at anyway. Skullface. He's the one who destroyed your base 9 years ago. The unit he commands, XOF, was Cypher's strike force, but he's since split from Zero and used XOF to usurp control over Cypher itself. In other words, the Cypher we're hunting isn't Zero. Beyond Zero is a void that's even darker. Skullface.
Please select a mission. Please select a landing zone. Heading to Afghanistan.
It wasn't just Cypher. Back in the Caribbean, every eye in the world was turned on us. A private army, just a bunch of guys with guns, in possession of a nuke? Why wouldn't they be uncomfortable?
And that's why you made sure the inspection happened.
Well, I thought our best move was to prove to the UN through the IAEA that we had no nuke. Of course, I was against us having it in the first place, but that was Snake's decision.
The boss wasn't responsible.
Well, don't get me wrong, I still believed in Snake. I thought I was making the best decision for all of us, that's all. I figured we should get a third party to exonerate us before proof of the nuke did get out. And who better to do that than an organization with international authority?
So the truth is, you took it upon yourself to agree to an inspection arranged by the UN. Only the inspection was a ruse, and Cypher's strike force, XOF, showed up instead.
I had no idea that would happen.
Enough bullshit!
Oh, sure, like I could have known. You know, I was just trying to prove our innocence to the world. What's wrong with that?
We're not interested in the excuses you've thought up. The truth is objective.
Just see it from my point of view.
You led XOF to the control tower. They seized it, giving them complete control over the base. Moments later, they detonated C4 on the strut legs. Anyone who'd managed to survive was hunted down by the assault force and their choppers.
You can't believe I did that on purpose.
That was the end of Mother Base. But it wasn't the end for you.
How can you... Look, think about it. I lost something too. I built Zeke and it got buried underwater. I am a victim.
That raises the big questions. Why were you the only one spared? You got away without a scratch. Why did Strangelove leave the base on the eve of the inspection? You two were close.
Strangelove?
And how did you manage to build something that surpasses Zeke in every way? Because you did everything they told you. You're the only one who didn't lose a thing. That is the truth.
I was taken away against my will. Skullface forced me to do his research these past 9 years. He used me. I lost 9 years.
9 years. We all lost 9 years. It wasn't just you.
I suppose blaming me makes you feel better, does it? But who's gonna give me back all the time I lost?
You're not getting anything back. You're not a victim here, Emmerich. You're the perpetrator.
I didn't know anything.
Nobody can back that up. Yeah, all the evidence is at the bottom of the ocean. You know the hardest man to break? The type who's fooling himself. That takes time. It's easier to live a convenient lie than a painful truth. Is that the piece you've chosen, Doc?
I'm not lying.
Of course. Just let me check one or two things. On that day, you were in the control tower with them. Lucky you. That's how you got out unscathed. And you escaped on one of their choppers. Only you, right before the base went under.
They had me blindfolded the whole time. I've never been so scared. The whole flight, I thought they'd kill me. But thinking of you kept me going. My comrades, all the way.
And?
There was a plane journey, and then we traveled by road. When they finally took off the blindfold, I was in kind of a warehouse, on the floor. Afghanistan, it was that research lab. I couldn't believe they'd taken me halfway around the world. And soon enough, he came.
Skullface.
He's the one who's really behind that Mother Base attack. He forced me into that research.
What kind of research?
He told me to build a bipedal walking tank for the Soviet Union. Like Peace Walker. A system that could fire an ICBM-class nuclear weapon. That's how the Sahelanthropus project got started.
Sahelanthropus.
Those AI weapons I'd made in Costa Rica were like toys by comparison. A whole world apart from reptilian four-legged crawling and that ridiculous hunched-over bipedal waddling. My design evolved to the dawn of mankind, Sahelanthropus, the first steps towards humanity. An upright, bipedal weapon system. Originally, Sahelanthropus was going to be a manned weapons platform. I designed a cockpit in its head, and I planned to fill it with water as a buffering agent.
Like how Paz modified Zeke for human control.
Don't compare me to some amateur. I designed it for human control from the beginning. The problem was miniaturizing the posture control AI. You remember the reptile pod?
The AI that controlled your unmanned weapons.
Attaching it externally makes it vulnerable, so this time I wanted it beneath the armor. Meaning I had to make the AI smaller. I got it down to less than 1/10 the size without any loss in computation speed. But it was still too big for the cockpit. There wasn't enough room for the pilot. If I made the head bigger, its body would have to be bigger to support it. Too big to be practical. In the end, human piloting was taken off the table. I tested a remote control system too, but there was the time lag and I wasn't satisfied with its precision either. Plus, it would be useless if the enemy jammed it. So next, I went back to trying an AI-only system. To do that, I had the AI pods recovered from Nicaragua. This was a hybrid AI, a combination of Peace Walker's reptile and mammal pods. The only AIs that had ever successfully operated an unmanned nuclear weapon system.
Really? You'd need some help to get that working. Expert help.
Did you work with someone?
I worked alone.
You did that yourself?
Well, that's the thing. The AI didn't pan out in the end either. But I did finally get Sahelanthropus walking by folding over its upper body to lower its center of gravity. The first upright bipedal locomotive weapon system in the history of mankind. I guess technically it falls into the anthropoid ape category.
I don't see the benefit of having it stand taller.
On terrain with significant differences in elevation like Afghanistan, you need a body that's vertically adaptable. That also lets it attack from long range while using mountain ridges for cover. So, making it walk upright was the most important factor in giving it superior height capability. As the name suggests, that was the whole point of Sahelanthropus. But I was being pushed for results. Having the AI mounted externally would have been the fastest way to get it working. I just needed more data so it could maintain its balance. But Skullface refused to wait. He dismissed the idea of AI control and took Sahelanthropus away from me before I could finish it.
But it was walking when it came after you.
That's just it. I don't understand how Skullface got it to move upright, without a pilot or an AI. And walking at that speed, too. It's beyond anything I could have imagined. This is like the Wright brothers making it to the moon. I'm just as clueless as you are.
So this Sahelanthropus, where is it now?
I have no idea. All my experiments took place at that cave. I've never seen it anywhere else. Besides, it's still just an incomplete prototype at this point, and nothing but a paper tiger. Even if it can walk, it's far from being a viable weapons platform. It wouldn't be useful in actual battle.
Emmerich will remain here at Mother Base for now, but not as a member of Diamond Dogs. I still don't trust him. That work for you?
Fine by me. He can't be allowed any contact with staff either.
Yeah. A lot of the guys would love some payback for 9 years ago. We still need him alive. But we have to restrict his movements. He can only go where we tell him. And of course, the interrogations will continue. He worked for that skull bastard for nearly a decade. He still has more to tell us.
How long are we gonna press him?
If our investigation shows he really had nothing to do with the attack, we'll reconsider his place here. But I don't expect that to happen. Remember that water tank-shaped object in Emmerich's lab in the Soviet base camp? The thing that started talking to you like a possessed answering machine. That was a pod built for housing the AI used to control unmanned weapons. You remember, back in '74 in Costa Rica. It was in those machines you fought there. They were designated Pupa, Chrysalis, Cocoon, and Basilisk, and each of them was fitted with an AI unit called a reptile pod. Emmerich created it.
It mainly handled the machine's posture control and autonomous behavior. But the Basilisk, aka Peace Walker, also featured a second AI pod. That one was called the Mammal Pod, and it was created by Dr. Strangelove. She tried to recreate the boss's personality through the Mammal Pod, but you pulled out its memory boards. That's when it transferred its own functions to its reptile pod. Just like a human brain compensating for damage by using the remaining healthy parts. The result was a unique entity, a hybrid of the reptile and the mammal. It sank to the bottom of Lake Nicaragua with Peace Walker. But apparently they salvaged it and transported it to that lab. Don't let it deceive you, Snake. It may sound like the boss, but it has neither a personality nor a will. Like Emmerich says, it's just a machine. Ever since the attack on your unit 9 years ago, the name Big Boss has become known the world over. What do you mean? Those of your men who survived traveled far and wide. They fought throughout the world. In fact, they're part of the reason we have all these PFs now. Every one of them suffered their own phantom pain from losing you. Talking about you wherever they went helped to heal their wounds. Your actions and words, your legend, has been told on every battlefield they've set foot on. Obviously, as the tales have spread, the truth's been distorted, painted over. Big Boss sacrificed himself to show us the threat that Cypher poses. He sounded a warning, so it goes. A warning? Too much power destroys the hands that hold it. Apparently, you chose to be a living example of that. I never said any of that. The moment any truth is passed on, it starts turning into fiction. The problem is, fiction inspires people more than facts. To the world, you're now the legendary mercenary Big Boss. The lessons you've taught the PFs are the reason they're so widespread. They're the reason they've survived. And you know what they all aspire to? To one day go nuclear, just like you did, and stand up to Cypher. Of all the stupid things you could do. They'll never understand what you really wanted. Heroes are misunderstood. It takes a man of the same caliber to understand what drives them. Bottom line is, these guys want to be like their hero, Big Boss. And deep down, they all have their eyes on nuclear weapons. They say that a nuke is the only means of standing against Cypher. But these days, it's becoming little more than a slogan to rally the troops and survive in a cutthroat business. Currently, there are 3 major PFs who've expanded into Central Africa. CFA, Rogue Coyote, and Zero Risk Security. HEC's investigations have shown there's almost no overlap between their areas of operation. It's not so much a turf war, more like they have a gentleman's agreement. If you do cross paths with them, you probably won't have to face more than one at a time. Still, don't expect a walk in the park. The CFA, Contract Forces of Africa. These guys are a major player. Their head office is in Pretoria, South Africa. That's also where the South African Defense Force is headquartered. We think the two are closely connected. An HEC investigation revealed that most of the CFA's operators are former SADF soldiers. South Africa has been locked in struggles with neighboring regimes for years. That means constant action. And we know better than anyone that's the best kind of training. A company drawing its recruits from hardened military vets. You can bet they know how to handle themselves. Do not underestimate them. Within the CFA is a company of soldiers made up mainly of locally hired operators. They speak Afrikaans to communicate with personnel from the CFA. But if you notice any speaking the local language, that's them. Though hired from the local population, they were originally part of a paramilitary group, so they'll have plenty of combat experience. And unlike their days shooting junkyard rifles out of beat-up pickup trucks, the CFA now supplies them with the latest gear from the West. On top of that, they've been combat trained by the South African Army. All that adds up to a much stronger fighting force. So don't brush them off. Look at the Angola-Zaire border region. The east bank of the Munene River in particular. It's a microcosm of a problem that stretches all across Africa. There's a civil war going on in Angola fought between the government MPLA and the Western-backed UNITA. Zaire is still a dictatorship under President Mobutu, but numerous uprisings have broken out in its remote regions. With all the trouble elsewhere keeping their hands full, neither government has control over their side of the border. They depend on militias and PFs, as do the rebels. Government forces, guerrillas, militants, groups of all shapes and sizes hawk whatever resources they can to hire PFs. Conflict brings PFs. PFs expand the war zone, and more conflicts erupt in a continuous chain reaction. Sounds like our kind of work. Mother Base could grow by leaps and bounds.
Please select a mission.
The objective is to rescue and extract a Mujahid captured by the Soviets. He's being held in the ruins of Lamar Khati Palace, as are a lot of POWs. Civilians, guerrillas, suspected guerrillas. The Soviets have turned the place into their own black site. However, we've only been asked to rescue one of the prisoners. He's known as Malak, Angel to his fellow Mujahideen. The client is none other than his father. Or rather, this was his father's dying wish.
Mission accepted. Development complete. Heading to Afghanistan.
mission is to rescue a prisoner being held at Lamar Khatib Palace. He's known as Malak, Angel to his fellow Mujahideen. Start by checking the target's VI on your iDroid. The Soviets captured him and took him to the ruins of the palace. His family was subsequently killed in an airstrike on his village. The Soviet scorched earth operation wiped it off the map. The client is none other than his father. Or rather, this was his father's dying wish.
Caution.
If you can manage to rescue other prisoners as well, each one will add a bonus to our pay. When you see them, I'm sure your conscience will tell you what to do.
The map has been updated.
Be careful down there, boss.
Lamar Khatib Palace. The target should be somewhere at that outpost.
The weather will clear shortly. You have arrived at your destination. Marker placed. Marker placed. Analysis complete.
Я с этим разберусь. Какому?
КП! КП идут безидеть! На наш отряд напали! Это враги! Прием! Это КП, понял. Будьте начеку. Выгрузите врага. Конец связи.
Complete.
Нет, не делай этого.
The target's been transferred. I've sent the information to your map screen. You're gonna need more information to pinpoint a location.
Where are your friends?
The map has been updated. Marker placed. Marker placed. Marker removed. Marker placed. Marker placed. You Prisoner has died. Analysis complete. Prisoner has died. The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Analysis complete. Prisoner has died.
Analysis complete.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
You have arrived at your destination. Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Marker placed. Analysis complete.
Как думаешь, сколько еще будет длиться эта война? Сколько бы душманов мы не убили, они продолжают появляться. Думаю, помогают империалисты с ЦРУ. И представь, сколько стоит хотя бы прокормить. В последнее время говорят, что эти надежные миллионеры из нефтяных стран. И теперь появился маг. Деньги идут из АСА Пакистана, и я Саудовской Аравии. Знаешь, на Западе есть теория о том, что нефть получилась из остатков древних животных. Из гнивших трупов животных? Да. Скоро она все закончится. Говорят, что этим специально пугают. Задать цель. Широколизм. Всего есть своя цена. Ладно, мне пора. Увидимся.
You have arrived.
Destination.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Yeah. 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 Whoa, whoa. Yeah. Yeah. Whoa, whoa. Ah! Yeah. 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 Whoa, whoa.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Говори! Будешь жить! Выбор за тобой! Прошу еще раз!
Analysis complete.
Что произошло в деревне? Ты должен знать хоть что-то? Говори!
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Говори! Будешь жить! Выбор за тобой! Прошу еще раз!
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Yaha Ogu supply outpost. It's within the target's predicted field of movement, but it's heavily guarded. You sure you want to go in on just a hunch?
Marker placed. You have arrived at your destination. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Clouds approaching. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. You have arrived at your destination. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. The map has been updated. The map has been updated. You have arrived at your destination.
Spit it out.
The map has been updated. has been updated. The map has been updated.
Badly wounded. We can rule out a full extraction. We'll just have to do it by chopper. Call the chopper from your iDroid, boss. Then carry the target to it.
You have arrived at your destination.
دلته زما د ژغورنې لپاره راغلی. ته د چا رالېږلې؟
Sun will rise momentarily.
زما پلار مړ دی. زما ټوله کورنۍ مړه دي. ته چا ګمارلی یې؟ تا ته چا ویلی دي چې ما هغوی له بوځه؟ ته ولې داسې کوې؟ ودرېږه، ما هغو کسانو ته مه سپاره کوم چې زه نه پېژنم.
Weather will clear shortly.
مهرباني وکړه، ما له ځان سره واپس بوځه. او تر هیون پوه شم. زما نوم ملک دی. فکر کوم چې اوس دغه نوم پرېږدم. هغه حرامیانو زه په ټول پوه نه شوم. بس د همیشه په شان زما خلکو سپکاوی کول. زما خیال دی دا ډېره خواشینۍ خبره.
Банана.
КП до 24. У нас тут труп. Ищите нарушителей. Прием. Это КП. Понял. Всем боевым группам проверить окрестности. Избавиться от чужака. Конец связи. КП, это Зоя-7. Пропал пленник. Похоже, он побежал. Прием. Это КП. Понял. Начать поиски как можно скорее. Конец связи.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been up. Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Please select a landing zone. Support helicopter
Roger.
requested. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. On station at LZ.
Target extracted. Exfiltrate the hot zone, boss.
Gaining altitude.
Mission info has been updated. Buddy departing area of operations.
Departing.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Development project has been added.
Yes, mission complete. Boss, that was exceptional. Boss, that target you extracted, Malik, is saying that he's never heard of our client. What's more, he says his village was destroyed long before he was ever taken prisoner. Apparently it fell victim to some sort of disease, then was completely burned to the ground. Malik was out on a mission at the time, and that's the reason why he alone survived. But the question is, who hired us to find him? According to Malik, he saw strange soldiers snooping around the village when he got back. Turns out they were members of Cypher's strike force, XOF. My theory is they wanted to get their hands on Malik to question or silence him before the Soviets could get to him. Cypher was just using us to cover things up. All that crap about Malik's relative was a front to convince us to retrieve him. But an entire colony just wiped off the map. It sounds a lot like the Hamid during the Honeybee incident. All I know, boss, is there's no way in hell I'm handing Malik over to Cypher. I decided to bring him back to Mother Base instead. He's one of us now. We told the client through a cutout that the target was killed. For some reason, though, they still paid us everything we were owed. Cypher's obviously up to something. This is probably just another preemptive cleanup operation to them. But to Malik, he lost his village, his family, everything, and he wants his revenge. In other words, he's one of us.
Please specify a project. Clouds approaching. Please select a mission. Please specify a project. Please specify a project. Please select a landing zone. Mission not accepted. Please select a mission. Mission accepted. Deploying.
Your mission is to rescue a prisoner being held at Lamar Khatib Palace. He's known as Malak, angel to his fellow Mujahideen. Start by checking the target's VI on your iDroid. The Soviets captured him and took him to the ruins of the palace. His family was subsequently killed in an airstrike on his village. The Soviet scorched earth operation wiped it off the map. The client is none other than his father. Or rather, this was his father's dying wish. If you can manage to rescue other prisoners as well, each one will add a bonus to our pay. When you see them, I'm sure your conscience will tell you what to do.
The map has been updated. Marker placed.
Be careful down there, boss.
Lamar Khatib Palace. The target should be somewhere at that outpost.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete. You have arrived at your destination. Analysis complete.
Завожу ворот.
Analysis complete.
The prisoner you extracted knew where the target is. The target Malak was sent to a different outpost. I've sent the information to your map screen. You're gonna need more information to pinpoint a location.
The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Your mission is to rescue a prisoner being held at the Marhate Palace.
Черт! А! По мне ведут огонь! КП, СВ-10! Атакован! Противника не видно! Прием! Это КП, понял. Будьте начеку. Врага, конец связи.
Your mission is to rescue a prisoner being held at the Marhate Palace.